dangerous trips. So let's practice these safety precautions and promise ourselves a safer, healthier future. Together, we can win the fight against COVID-19. ICICI Lombard, निभाए वादे।
अब आगे क्या? खुशियों के दरवाजों पर डर के ताले लगाए रखोगे? उस गर्म चाय के बहाने अपने यार से गर्मा गर्म गप्पे नहीं लड़ाओगे? दिन की थकान किसी से गले लगकर नहीं मिटाओगे? घर के नए मेहमान से अपना इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं कराओगे? इस बदले हुए कल के लिए आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड में हमने अपने हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सॉल्यूशंस भी थोड़े बदले हैं ताकि आप जिंदगी रीस्टार्ट करें तो राइट करें। हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सॉल्यूशंस बाय आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड, रीस्टार्ट राइट।
पिछले कुछ महीनों में देखो इनको, थकने का है नाम नहीं। वर्दी की कसम जो खा के चले, इससे बढ़कर कोई काम नहीं। आंधी तूफान तेज हवाएं, कड़ी धूप भी टोक न पाई। बूंदें बारिश की नुकीली जरा भी इनको रोक न पाई। बरसातों से कह दो जाके, ड्यूटी पर हैं वीर हमारे। दिन हो चाहे रात भले हो, खड़े रहेंगे सीना ताने। निडर होकर हर मुसीबत का सामना करती है हमारी पुलिस फोर्स। उनका साथ देने में हम कम से कम इतना तो कर ही सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी पुलिस ने किए हुए वायदों को हमेशा निभाया। आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड का हमारी जांबाज पुलिस को तहे दिल से सलाम।
एक जमाना था जब लोगों से मिलना बहुत आसान हुआ करता था, बेझिझक मिलते थे। पर समय से कौन जीत पाया है? समय ने हमें एक जरूरी सबक सिखाया है कि सुरक्षा ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है, पर यह सुरक्षा का कवच सबके भाग्य में कहां? पर आप सबके साथ की बदौलत हमने इस समस्या का समाधान एक छोटा सा नमस्ते कहकर किया, जहां आपकी एक फोटो जो आपने #रीस्टार्ट के साथ अपलोड की, वहीं आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड ने किसी जरूरतमंद तक एक हेल्थ किट पहुंचाई, जिसमें मास्क, सैनिटाइजर और ग्लव्स थे, और कई जरूरतमंदों को सुरक्षा की उम्मीद थी। आईसीआईसीआई लोम्बार्ड की पहल #रीस्टार्ट राइट से आइए किसी की जिंदगी में खुशियों को नमस्ते कहें। #रीस्टार्ट राइट।
आगे बैठो या पीछे, हेलमेट के ताज को पहनो। नजरें सिग्नल पे रख लो, सिग्नल का पालन कर लो। रास्तों को शांत है रखना, जरा हॉर्न को कम वापरना। ड्राइविंग के टाइम मोबाइल को ना देखो। हे भाई जरा देख के चलो। हे भाई जरा देख के चलो। हे भाई जरा देख के चलो। हे भाई गाड़ी के रफ्तारों को कंट्रोल कंट्रोल में रखते जाओ, कट जाए ना ई चालान, जरा ध्यान को रोड पे लाओ। सीट बेल्ट को कस के बांधो, डेंजर को घर भिजवा दो, सब नियम फॉलो बन जाओ हीरो। ए भाई, ए भाई जरा देख के चलो, हे भाई जरा देख के चलो, हे भाई जरा देख के चलो, हे भाई। अब फिट कर लो बुद्धि में, अब फिट कर लो बुद्धि में कि हेलमेट आवश्यक है, सबसे ज्यादा अपना से रक्षा करने लायक है। बिन हेलमेट के कहीं जाना, फिर बाद में क्यों पछताना, अब ही से इन बातों को तुम
Good afternoon, ladies. I, Lalita Dilip Gupte, on behalf of the company and my colleagues on the board of directors, welcome you all to the 21st Annual General Meeting, AGM of the company. I hope you are all keeping safe and well. The impact of the second wave was more widespread. Even among those who did not get infected by the virus, many witnessed their family members or close associates getting affected. I would like to stress on the point that collectively it is everybody's responsibility to get vaccinated and continue exercise caution and follow social distancing norms and guidelines issued by the government. In view of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, consequent restrictions and your safety in mind, we are holding the AGM through video conferencing VC, other audiovisual means OAVM, in accordance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs MCA and the Securities and Exchange Board of India SEBI. We have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of the meetings. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I request my colleagues joining this meeting through VC to introduce themselves one by one to the shareholders of the company, mentioning name, designation and place. First, let me begin with myself. I, Lalita D. Gupte, Chairperson of the company, I am attending this meeting from ICICI Lombard office in Mumbai. Mr. Bhargav Das Gupta.
Good afternoon, I am Bhargav Das Gupta, Managing Director and CEO, attending this meeting from our office in ICICI Lombard in Mumbai. Thank you.
Ashwin Parekh.
Good afternoon, I am Ashwin Parekh, attending this AGM from my residence in Mumbai. I am an independent director and chairman of the audit committee. Thank you.
Mr. Uday Chitale.
Good afternoon. I am Uday Chitale, attending this annual general meeting from my residence in Mumbai. I am an independent director and chairman of the board nomination and remuneration committee. Thank you.
Mr. Suresh Kumar.
Good afternoon. I am Suresh Kumar, attending this meeting from my residence in Dubai. I am an independent director and chairman of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. Thank you.
Mr. Ved Prakash Chaturvedi.
Good afternoon. I am Ved Prakash Chaturvedi, independent director, attending this AGM from my residence in Lonavala. Thank you.
Mr. Murli Shivaraman.
Good afternoon. I am Murli Shivaraman, independent director, attending this AGM from my residence in Mumbai. Thank you.
Mrs. Vishaka Mule.
Hello, I'm Vishaka Mule. I'm a non-independent director of your company. I'm attending this meeting from my residence in Mumbai.
Mr. Sandeep Patra.
Good afternoon. I'm Sandeep Patra, non-independent director attending this AGM from Kandala. Thank you.
Mr. Alok Kumar Agarwal.
Good afternoon. I am Alok Kumar Agarwal, executive director, attending this AGM from ICICI Lombard office in Mumbai. Thank you.
Mr. Sanjeev Mantri.
Good afternoon. I am Sanjeev Mantri, executive director, attending this AGM from ICICI Lombard office in Mumbai. Thank you.
Apart from the board of directors, we also have Mr. Gopal Balachandran, Chief Financial Officer and Chief Risk Officer, and Mr. Vikas Mehra, Company Secretary of the company, attending this meeting from this room. The senior management of the company are joining the AGM from their respective locations. Mr. S.N. Chaturvedi, Partner, Chaturvedi and Company, Chartered Accountants, and Mr. R. Surya Narayanan, Partner, PKF Sridhar and Santanam LLP, Chartered Accountants, the joint statutory auditors of the company, have joined this AGM from their respective locations. Mr. B.V. Dholakia, Designated Partner of Dholakia and Associates LLP, Secretarial Auditor of the company, has joined the AGM from his respective location. Ms. Ashwini Inamdar, Partner Mehta and Mehta, Practicing Company Secretaries, Scrutinizer of the AGM, has also joined this AGM from her respective location. I sincerely thank all the shareholders of the company who have joined this meeting through VC. The company has made necessary arrangements to ensure participation of members at this meeting through video conference and to enable them to vote on the resolution set forth in the notice electronically. Trust all of you have referred the general instructions for e-voting and participation in the meeting. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers given on page number 12 of the notice of the AGM under the head Instructions for members attending the AGM through VC/OIVL. As the AGM is being held through VC, facility for appointment of proxies by the members was not applicable, and hence the company has not provided proxy forms to its members and did not maintain proxy register. The statutory registers, other relevant documents, and the annual certificate on implementation of employee stock option scheme from statutory auditors of the company are made available electronically for inspection by the members during this AGM at NSDL e-voting system. Notice convening the meeting. Coming to the business of the meeting, with your permission, I shall now take the notice convening this meeting as read. Report of the auditors. In line with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, only the qualifications, observations, or adverse remarks of the auditors on financial transactions or matters are required to be read out at the meeting of the shareholders. The joint statutory auditor's report on the financial statements and the secretarial audit report for the financial year ending March 31st, 2021 do not contain any qualifications, observations, or adverse remarks. Accordingly, the said reports are not required to be read at this meeting. For the benefit of the shareholders, we have arranged for an audiovisual presentation which would be screened now.
Two glorious decades of pursuing one unified mission, the mission to deliver on our promises. At ICICI Lombard, our relentless pursuit of standing by our brand ethos of Nibhaye Waade has completed an illustrious journey of 20 years. In these 20 years, together with our power team, supportive stakeholders and loyal customers, we have carved a leadership position for ourselves in the insurance industry. Our early adoption of modern technology and creating user-friendly digital journeys has given us a lead in delivering innovative, tech-enabled solutions to our customers. That is why, in the face of the unprecedented challenges of the pandemic, we have been able to ensure complete service continuity to our customers and making sure that we are able to meet their insurance-related needs in a safe, contactless manner. Our IL Take Care app is a step in this direction. Imagine a single-stop mobile solution to address your insurance and wellness-related needs. From teleconsultations with doctors, to guidance on nutrition and fitness, to lifestyle-based counseling. Our revolutionary InstaSpect facility on the IL Take Care app empowers customers to get their vehicle damage assessment done in real-time start by themselves. The benefit? Instant claim settlement at any time and from anywhere. In a world where communication has gone instant, we are aligning our communication to the instant messaging modes. Our cognitive bot-enabled WhatsApp platform provides multiple services and instant query resolution of customers in a user-friendly way. And when we deploy technology, we ensure that it understands you and speaks to you in your language. This is all thanks to the AI capabilities and use of natural language processing that we have been championing over the years. Customer needs vary from one to the other. For our SME segment, we have made things seamless with our digital SME website that makes policy purchase, renewal, claims, etc. a seamless and hassle-free experience. Over the years, we have enhanced our role from being a risk financer to becoming a risk management partner for our customers. As a result, our customers can benefit from a host of value-added solutions. For instance, we offer our corporate clients hijack solutions for transit cargo, IoT-based fire hydrant systems, wellness programs for employees, etc. Our promise to deliver extends to our other stakeholders, including our channel partners. We have been supporting them in leveraging our technology solutions to service their customers. Webinars were organized for over 7,000 channel partners to familiarize them with our digital tools amid the pandemic. This is not limited to one, but all our business solutions, including iPartner, Myra, Auto Ninja. Behind our trust to fulfilling our promises are our employees. To ensure their safety and well-being, we have been taking many initiatives for them and their families. We have introduced multiple platforms to support employees and to keep them engaged and motivated. Hybrid working policy offered the employees the flexibility of choosing to either work from home or opt for remote working or work from office as per their convenience. To ensure that our employees and channel partners stay protected against COVID-19 infection, exclusive vaccination drives were organized for them. Even as we scaled high on the business and customer-focused metrics, we have diligently worked on meeting our sustainability commitment. Our various environmental initiatives continue to make great strides in minimizing our carbon footprint. 30% energy saving was achieved by installing LED fittings at our corporate offices. As a responsible corporate, we continue to fulfill our promise of going beyond business and serving the nation in dealing with the challenges of the widespread pandemic. We have conducted vaccination camps for senior citizens, underprivileged sections in the last few months, benefiting over 50,000 individuals. In a record initiative, we partnered with the Neosia Group to set up a 58-bed COVID care center in just 12 days in Newtown, West Bengal. Our CSR efforts also moved a notch higher this year, taking forward our flagship initiative, Ride to Safety. We organized over 250 virtual workshops which benefited over 40,000 families. We distributed over 35,000 specially designed ISI marked helmets along with safety masks. We also identified the critical needs of our frontline warriors during the pandemic. We extended a helping hand by distributing raincoats and masks for their enhanced safety. A unique employee volunteering initiative, Caring Hands, has grown exponentially. 9,000 children benefited from the initiative conducted through a hybrid method. Under our Niranjali initiative, we organized virtual sessions across 250 schools from Mumbai and Delhi. Water purifiers and sanitizer dispensers were installed in these schools. As we look ahead, we are enthusiastic about our business growth trajectory. Our revenue for FY21 stood at rupees 140.03 billion, continuing on the long-term trajectory. During the fiscal year, we issued over 21 million policies and settled more than 1.6 million claims. Our profit after tax rose to rupees 14.73 billion with a 21.7% return on average equity. This was driven by our focus on core profitability, depicted by combined ratio, which stood at 99.8%. As we progress, we will stay focused on creating a long-term sustainable business model and make way for exponential growth. Financial results gained recognitions from all over. We received several awards for our all-round performance. In every journey comes some significant milestones that define the way forward. The The proposed merger of Bharti AXA General Insurance with ICICI Lombard will add fillip to our growth story. This integration will make us the second largest insurer. It will add to our existing set of customer-friendly solutions while strengthening our business franchisee. As we celebrate this milestone year in our illustrious journey, we reaffirm our commitment to deliver on our promises. We stay focused on leading the change and are committed to create a future that is positive and reassuring for our customers. ICICI Lombard, Nibhai Wade.
I would like to inform you that pursuant to the Companies Act 2001-3, read with relevant rules and SEBI listing regulations, the company had provided an opportunity to all its members to exercise their voting rights through electronic voting, remote e-voting, for the following items of business to be transacted at the AGM during the period Saturday, August 7, 2021 9 a.m. to August 9, 2021 5 p.m. Members who have not cast their vote earlier and participating in this meeting can now cast their votes through e-voting module made available by NSDL. Now I propose to take up the business of the meeting, Siresham, in accordance with the AGM notice. 1. To receive, consider and adopt the audited financial report statements for the financial year ended March 31st, 2021, together with the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon. 2. To confirm payment of interim dividend on equity shares of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 2021. 3. To declare final dividend on equity shares of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 2021. 4. To appoint a director in place of Ms. Vishakha Mudye, DIN 00203578, who retires by rotation and being eligible offers herself for reappointment. 5. To reappoint MS PKF Sridhar and Santanam LLP Chartered Accountants, one of the joint statutory auditors of the company. 6. To fix the remuneration of Messrs. PKF Sridhar and Santanam LLP Chartered Accountants and MS Chaturvedi and Company Chartered Accountants, joint statutory auditors of the company for FY 2022. I now request Mr. Uday Chittale to chair the meeting for agenda item number 7.
Thank you. Agenda item 7 pertains to the reappointment of Mrs. Lalita D. Gupte, Director Identification Number 000-43559, as a non-executive and independent director of the company. And this is a matter of a special business, one of the special businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Uday. 8. Remuneration payable to Bhargav Das Gupta, DIN 0047728, Managing Director of the company. 9. Revision in remuneration payable to Alok Kumar Agarwal, DIN 03434304, Whole-time Director designated as Executive Director Wholesale of the company. 10. Revision in remuneration payable to Mr. Sanjeev Mantri, DIN 071-92264, Whole-time Director designated as Executive Director Retail of the company. Resolutions proposed as item numbers 1 to 6 and 8 to 10 are ordinary resolutions to be passed with a simple majority, and resolution proposed as item number 7 is a special resolution. The board has appointed Ms. Ashwini Inamdar, partner of Failing Her, Mr. Atul Mehta, partner of Mehta and Mehta, practicing company secretaries, as the scrutinizer for conducting the e-voting process in a fair and transparent manner, and to scrutinize the votes cast through remote e-voting and e-voting through the AGM, and to submit the consolidated report of voting in compliance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and the SEBI LODR Regulation 2015. Now, I would like to invite speaker shareholders who have done their prior registration to speak. Members may give their suggestions or seek clarification. Only those members who are holding equity shares of the company as on cut-off date for e-voting, that is August 3, 2021, are entitled to participate and speak at the AGM, subject to prior registration. With due respect to other speakers and time, I kindly request each speaker to be brief and restrict their suggestions / comments to 3 minutes on matters as set forth in the notice, annual accounts, and operations of the company for FY 2021. To avoid repetition, the answers to all the questions will be provided at the end of the Q&A session. I now request the moderator to please go ahead with the Q&A session.
Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, our chairperson and management will now take questions. Shareholders who have registered to speak are requested to kindly switch your camera on, unmute your microphone, and speak when your names are announced. Kindly restrict your comments and queries to a maximum of 3 minutes. Our first shareholder to speak is Ms. Lekha Satish Shah.
Hello.
Ma'am, could you yes, ma'am. We can hear you loud and clear, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Respected Chairperson, ma'am, Board of Directors, and my fellow members, good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Lekha Shah from Mumbai. First of all, I'm very much thankful to our company secretary, Mr. Vikatsi, especially Akshay sir and Rima ma'am for presenting very good investor services and also sending me the AGM notice by email well in time in such a difficult situation, which is full of knowledge, fact and pickets in place. Ma'am, I am very happy to see all the good deeds you have done during this difficult time. I pray to God that He always shower His blessing upon you. Ma'am, I would thank to all persons of company for receiving awards and recognition by our various during the year 2021. And I am very glad the company is doing very well in the field of CSR activities. I am sure that our company awards list will get longer and longer the years to come. Ma'am, I would like to ask few questions. My first question is, what are the measures taken by the company for its employees with respect to COVID-19? My second question is, what are the focus area for corporate social responsibility undertaken by the company? My third question is, how is our company operating? Are we operating from home or are they working from the office? My fourth question is, are all our company employees vaccinated against COVID-19? So, I would like to say, I strongly propose all the resolutions for today's meeting and my best wishes, always our company and its prosperity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next shareholder speaker is Santosh Saraf. Mr. Saraf, we can see you clearly. Kindly unmute your microphone and speak.
हाँ जी नमस्कार माननीय अध्यक्ष जी माननीय अध्यक्ष जी उपस्थित निदेशक सदस्यगण और मेरे शेयरहोल्डर भाइयों बहनों मैं सर्वप्रथम आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। आशा करता हूँ आप हमारे जितने डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण हैं, जितने भी हमारे कर्मचारी हैं और जितने भी हमारे शेयर होल्डर जो आज वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग के थ्रू प्रेजेंट है, वह और उनकी फैमिली इस कोविड के समय में सुरक्षित और अच्छे स्वास्थ्य। सबसे पहले भाइयों को प्रकट करना चाहूँगा, कोविड के अंदर में हमें छोड़ के चले गए या उनका कोई लव वन छोड़ के चला गया, उनको वहां से प्रार्थना करता हूँ भगवान उनकी आत्मा को शांति दे और उनको परिवार को हिम्मत दे जो इस बड़ी घड़ी से वो उभर के सामने आए। सर एक सबसे पहले अपनी कंपनी सेक्रेटरी टीम को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा, स्पेशली रीमा चलानी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा। सर बहुत अच्छी लेडी है, इतनी विद्युतवासी है, क्या कहूँ। इन्होंने कितने बार फोन किया हुआ मेरे को मालूम नहीं है, और कोविड के समय भी इन्होंने मेरे को फोन किया था कि मिस्टर सर आप कैसे हैं, आपके घर में सब ठीक तो हैं, आपको कोई जरूरत हो तो मुझे बताइएगा, हम आपकी सेवा करेंगे। इस तरह की खोज लेना मीटिंग के बाद में भी शायद ही कोई कर सकता है, तो मैं उनको विशेषकर धन्यवाद दूंगा रीमा चलानी को कि भगवान उनकी लंबी उम्र दे, वो हंसते रहे और इसी तरह कंपनी की तरह सहायता करते रहे। सर मैं इसका आपके जो अवार्ड और जो रिकॉग्निशन मिले हैं उसके लिए मैं कंपनी के मैनेजमेंट को धन्यवाद दूंगा। ये हमारी कर्मचारियों की कठिन परिश्रम का नतीजा है कि आज हमको अवार्ड और रिवार्ड, इसके लिए मैं धन्यवाद दूंगा। और सर मेरे प्रश्न के जवाब मैक्सिमम आज सुबह में मिल गए थे, मैंने लेटर भेजा था, फिर भी एक चीज मेरे को पूछने के बताने का चेष्टा की सर, ये जो अपने फीमेल एम्प्लॉई है इनकी परसेंटेज बहुत कम है सर, तो इनकी परसेंटेज बढ़ाने के लिए क्या कदम उठा रहे हैं सर? क्योंकि अभी मैं चाहूंगा कि जिस तरह हमारे फीमेल उन्नति कर रही है, देखिए ओलंपिक में उन्होंने फर्स्ट गोल्ड दिलाया और कई गोल्ड दिलाया, और हॉकी टीम तो इतना अच्छा खेली कि जिसका आप वर्णन भी नहीं कर सकते, उनको मैं शुभाजीत देता हूँ। तो आप फीमेल एम्प्लॉय को बढ़ाने के लिए क्या कदम उठा रहे हैं? मैं चाहूंगा कि कंपनी जो अपने सर्विस सेक्टर में फीमेल एम्प्लॉय को ज्यादा से ज्यादा बढ़ाया जाए सर। एक सर मैं आपसे ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि अभी जो वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग है इसको कंटिन्यूस रखिए सर। इससे क्या है कि मैं समझता हूँ मैं कलेक्टर साहब से बात कर अपने मन की भावना प्रकट कर सकता हूँ, हमारे जो अधिकारी कर उनके प्रति अपनी भावना प्रकट कर सकता हूँ, उनके पास व्यवहार को मैं प्रकट कर सकता हूँ कि उनके, तो मैं चाहूंगा सर जी आप फिजिकल मीटिंग करिए, तो इसके साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग में 15-20 मिनट आधा घंटे के लिए जो बाहर में आपके शेयर होल्डर है, क्योंकि पूरे इंडिया में आपके शेयर होल्डर है सर, सिर्फ बॉम्बे में शेयर होल्डर नहीं, उनका ख्याल रखते हुए आप जरूर से अवश्य मीटिंग करिए। और ज्यादा मैं आपका समय नहीं लूंगा, आप जितने भी हमारे डायरेक्टरगण, जितने भी हमारे अधिकारीगण है, जितने भी हमारे एम्प्लॉय और इसके अलावा जितने भी हमारे पॉलिसी होल्डर है, उनके परिवार की लंबी उम्र की कामना करता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ फाइनेंशियल जो 2021 उनके लिए हैप्पीनेस, वेलनेस और हेल्दीनेस और सेफ्टी के साथ में जीवन बिताने के लिए मिले, यही प्रार्थना करते हुए आप सबकी लंबी उम्र की कामना करते हुए अपना वक्तव्य समाप्त। जय हिंद, जय भारत, नमस्कार सर।
Thank you, Mr. Saraf. Ladies and gentlemen, our next shareholder speaker is Mr. Yusuf Rangwala. Mr. Rangwala, could you kindly unmute and speak?
Madam, Respected Lalita Madam, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, Madam. I'm very happy. I am speaking from Mumbai. I am very happy to our excellent share department for giving me a link, Madam. Can you see my face, Madam? Hello?
Sir, your camera is off, sir. Yeah. If you could please switch your camera on to be able to see you. Mr. Rangwala, if you could switch your camera on.
Sir, we are the sir.
Sir, we can hear you. You can go ahead and speak, sir.
Sir, now okay?
Yes. Your camera is on and we are clear, sir.
We are the largest company, and I am very happy with our company. Thanks our company secretary for sending me a balance sheet, which is 2% pages. Very excellent. And many health insurance also. So I will come directly on question, directly on point. Sir, all this business must be earning good profit. This is why you got good.
Mr. Rangwala, we seem to be having a technical problem with your connectivity. We'll come back to you after we finish a couple of speakers. So we'll try and sort that out in the meanwhile. Mr. Rangwala, we'll come back to you. In the meanwhile, we'll go on to Uma Shankar Vijayavargiya. Mr. Vijayavargiya?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir. We can hear you and we can see you clearly. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon, all. Respected forum, directors, and officials of the ICICI Lombard. I am shortly known as Vijay. There are certain concerns, although I have huge respect for the forum, there are certain concerns which I have with ICICI Lombard. I expect the independent director and the company secretary to work in a fair and transparent manner, which I noted there is a discrepancy between certain things being asked by me and the questions raised to the company secretary are not addressed in timely manner, as well as there are always a delay. There are always trying to not to answer, prefer not to respond to any of the questions, queries. There are queries and concerns regarding the Bharti AXA merger, the valuation part, the process, and our esteemed company secretary has no answer to it. To my surprise, he says, for every query which I addressed to him. Secondly, also I requested to walk through for the qualification of independent directors. I have huge respect for them, but as per the SEBI guidelines, as per other guidelines, I have serious concern about qualification of as an independent director. I find, as per the information available to me, and I have asked for it, nobody arranged a call, and as per the information asked for by me, that no call was arranged, and as per the information available on the public place or on the notice provided, I found the independent director does not fall in the definition of independent director itself. There is a huge gap. I found they are related to company, either coming from ICICI Bank or either coming from the auditing partners. So, I expect the independent director and company secretary to be the custodian of shareholder value, shareholders, maximizing shareholder value. But I find there is a discrepancy, there is a big gap. Hence, I am there in this forum today to address directly to the board. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vijay Varghese. We now move on to our next shareholder speaker, Mr. Vinod Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, could you kindly unmute your microphone, switch your camera on and speak.
Hello.
Mr. Agarwal, we can hear you. And we can see you now.
Yes, sir. I've gone through your annual report. I've got only one or two small queries, sir. And last year was a COVID pandemic year. How much extra claims have you received on the health insurance front due to COVID, and how much extra payments that would have likely to have been made in the health insurance section of our business due to COVID, the extra payments which may not have been accounted earlier while giving out the policies. This is the additional loss on the policy that we would have occurred due to COVID-19. And you've done another observation from the balance sheet is you've done a capex of 7.2 billion on technology front. Are we being able to, how strong will our firewalls be, since there's a lot of remote working and work from home culture, and we have seen even the best of organizations in America being getting hacked and demands being made for ransom. How strong will our firewalls be on our technology front, since we are spending 7.29 billion rupees on technology upfront? So this is one thing. And sir, the rest of the things in the annual report are there. I do not want to read out the annual report. I can read out. So you've done the 140 billion of this thing, insurance, PAT is 14% billion. I can read out. I don't want to read out. I don't want to take up much of your time, sir. I wish the company all the best and let the company keep on growing. And sir, one small query which has remained with me. Sir, you have declared interim dividend of 4 and in the final dividend you are declaring rupees 4. So is it 8 rupees that you are declaring total dividend for the year, or is it only 4 rupees that interim dividend has been taken as the final dividend for the year, 4 rupees? This is my another small query. I could not have understood it. I'm just seeking a clarification on this. Thank you, sir. Signing off, Vinod Agarwal.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. We now come back to Mr. Yusuf Rangwala. We had a little connectivity problem. We've brought him back on. Mr. Rangwala, if you can unmute your camera, your microphone, switch your camera on and go ahead and speak.
Yes, sir, I'll speak like this only, sir. I'm very thankful to our company secretary for giving there are so many countries we are excellent services and sir CICI activities apne sir help kiya. So this shows how we are growing, sir. And my good wishes for the company. Nothing more to add. I thank our share department for giving a link. Thank you very much, sir. And after COVID-19 is over, sir, please keep a small get-together office. Last year also you have done at the time of November. How many people are affected in COVID-19, sir? Affected in this COVID-19 from our Indian staff. Sir, ICICI Lombard General is one of the best families, and we are the fifth, sir. My good wishes for you, and it will I support all the resolution and nothing more to add. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rangwala.
Thank you, sir.
With that, we come to the end of this section of the AGM. Okay, I believe we have one of our shareholders who had logged out earlier who has logged back in. We'll have Mr. Kirti Shah as our final speaker. Mr. Kirti Shah, you are on camera. Kindly unmute your microphone and speak.
चेयरमैन सर, अभी आपने जो एनुअल रिपोर्ट जो बनाया है, मेरे को आपने फिजिकल कॉपी भेजा हुआ है. बहुत ही बढ़िया आपने एनुअल रिपोर्ट बनाया हुआ है और आपका सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ने भी काफी अच्छी तरह से फॉलो अप किया हुआ है. बहुत ही अच्छी बात है. चेयरमैन सर, अभी जो आपने एनुअल रिपोर्ट में जो फिगर दिया है वो 1000 में दिया है. इतनी बड़ी कंपनी, कई जगह पे बिलियंस, कई जगह पे 1000. मेजोरिटी कंपनियां जो फिक्सर लिखती है वो लैक्स में लिखती है. तो आगे से भी आप जरा लैक्स में फिगर रखेगा तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, इजीली पढ़ा जाएगा. चेयरमैन सर, अभी आपने करंट ईयर में 66 करोड़ का लॉस किया है इन्वेस्टमेंट, जो लास्ट ईयर में आपका 120 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट था. तो उसकी वजह क्या है कि इतना 66 करोड़ का लॉस किया हुआ है? चेयरमैन सर, आपने जो डिविडेंड लास्ट ईयर जो दिया था वो काफी अच्छा डिविडेंड था, 320 करोड़ रुपए था. दिस ईयर डिविडेंड इज ओनली 181 करोड़. तो इतना ह्यूज प्रॉफिट होते हुए भी आपने डिविडेंड बहुत कम दिया हुआ है, तो उसकी वजह क्या है वो थोड़ा हाईलाइट करेंगे. चेयरमैन सर, बाकी मैंने आपको ईमेल किया हुआ है, जो आपने ईमेल का सही तरह से आप मेरे को रिप्लाई करेंगे. और ये जून क्वार्टर में आपका प्रॉफिट काफी डाउन हो गया, उसकी वजह क्या है कि 50% से भी ज्यादा डाउन हुआ है कंपेयर टू मार्च क्वार्टर. टर्नओवर मोटा मोटी सेम है, रेवेन्यू सेम है मोटा मोटी. जो अपना प्रॉफिट था 345 करोड़ था, वो जून क्वार्टर में रह गया 151 करोड़. और प्रॉफिट, नेट प्रॉफिट मार्जिन था 7.61% था आपका मार्च क्वार्टर में, वो कम डाउन होकर 3.34% रह गया है. उसकी वजह क्या है कि इतना नेट प्रॉफिट मार्जिन आपका कम हुआ है. और चेयरमैन सर, आपका जो होल्डिंग है वो बहुत ही कम है, 51.87%. अभी आईसीआईसीआई का इतना बड़ा सपोर्ट और इतनी बड़ी गुडविल वाली कंपनी, और आपका प्रमोटर होल्डिंग इतना कम क्यों रखा हुआ है? 2008 तक आपको रिस्ट्रिक्शन था 55% होल्डिंग का, अभी तो आपको 75% तक का आपका ये है, मैक्सिमम कर सकते हो. तो आपने ये 52% ही क्यों रखा हुआ, उसकी वजह थोड़ा बताएंगे तो ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. और चेयरमैन सर, ये बहुत ही कंसर्न की बात है कि 29.75% एफआईएस का होल्डिंग है. अभी एफआईएस क्या, वर्ल्ड जैसे ही खराब हो जाएगा वो बाहर निकल जाएगा और आपका प्राइस आधा कर देगा. तो उसके लिए अभी जरा कंसर्न की बात है. तो लोकल डोमेस्टिक म्यूचुअल फंड, इंस्टीट्यूशन और एचएनआई को साथ में लेने की खास जरूरत है. और चेयरमैन सर, आपका जो सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ने जो बुक क्लोजर रखा है 4 अगस्त टू 10 अगस्त, वो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है कि भाई एजीएम के डेट की लास्ट डेट रखता है. कई कंपनियां आगे पीछे रखती है, आगे रखती है, समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कि कब एजीएम है. और आपका सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट में काफी अच्छी तरह से किया हुआ है, तो अच्छी बात है. और चेयरमैन सर, बाकी मैंने ईमेल किया हुआ है, आप ईमेल का रिप्लाई करेंगे. विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kirti Shah. With that, we come to the end of this section of the AGM. Thank you, dear shareholders, for your observations and queries. To respond to these, I shall now hand the proceedings back to our chairperson. Over to you, ma'am.
Now I request Mr. Bhargav Dasgupta, Managing Director and CEO, to respond to the queries raised by the shareholders.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you all of you for very insightful questions. So let me go one by one. I'll start with Ms. Lekha Shah. Thank you, ma'am, for all the kind words to the Secretarial Department. I'm sure the team will be particularly motivated based on your feedback. The specific questions that you had were, one, the measures that we took for employees for COVID. Now, one of the approaches that we took right at the beginning of the pandemic last year was focusing on employee safety. And the focus was to ensure that we continue to operate well using technology while allowing people to work from home through this process. Thereafter, over the years, over the months, we've added a lot of benefits. First, we launched schemes to provide them a better technology support, including laptops for everyone, better internet bandwidth. We even, given the fact that people may not have, furniture at home, which is suitable for working for long hours, we announced a scheme to let people buy office furniture at our organization cost. Thereafter, when the second wave happened, we've launched a number of schemes, starting with vaccination for employees and their families. We announced COVID-specific leave. We announced a special amount of compensation for people who got affected by COVID, for whom there was home care treatment. Plus, we have had a team which was dedicatedly supporting all our employees through that phase, wherever they needed some support with hospitals or hospital beds or any other hospital. So there was a lot of focus on supporting our employees during the COVID period. And as a company, we also announced that we'll continue to remain hybrid through this period, again to facilitate the benefit that we talked about to people. We had similarly a lot of customer initiatives for COVID, but that has also been detailed in our annual report. You asked a question about what are the focus areas for CSR. There are 4 areas that we particularly focus on. 2 of them has been for almost 10 years. One of them is the road safety initiative, which you saw in the video. We've been distributing helmets for children in India. Helmets for children were not available at all. Even if you wanted to go to a shop, you couldn't buy helmets for children. So we saw that gap, and we worked with ISI approved helmet manufacturers to provide helmets, and it's part of a CSR initiative. We also go to schools, train people on the importance of road safety, do workshops with their parents when we hand over these helmets. The second thing that we've been doing again for a long time, almost 10 years now, is an employee volunteering initiative, which we call Caring Hands, which is where on one day, almost all of us go out to municipal schools and do eye camps for students of these schools, typically from class 6 to class 8. And based on what we see, we then provide rectification solutions. So could be in terms of just some advice, or even in terms of providing spectacles to these students who may not even realize that they have a problem with power. And in some cases, when they need surgery, we support them for surgery. The third scheme that we've been working on about 3-4 years now is a program which we call Niranjani, which is again an initiative to provide clean drinking water to municipal schools. Similarly, for the focus being on health. The first one was on road safety. The second 2 are on health. Third initiative that we've taken is particularly during COVID, we realized that the primary health facility in some of the rural towns, villages in India is very poor. So we've begun to adopt some villages to provide primary healthcare service, including equipment and everything else. Apart from that, during this COVID period, we had a multiple, CSR initiatives that you would have seen in the video. And lastly, whenever there are disasters, we step in to support, the community that has been affected. The other question that you had, ma'am, in terms of our operating model, as I said, we even way back in May of last year, in 2020, just immediately after the outbreak of COVID, we announced a policy to allow hybrid working, where people are given an option to work from home or work from office, or even partially work from home and partially work from office. Right now, about 20% of our staff are working from home all the time. Balance 80% are either coming to office, on every day or some days, and that's the policy that we'll continue, and for which we've done a lot of work in terms of training and empowering people to continue to work from home through this process. And we believe this is an important initiative, both from employee perspective as also from the organization perspective in the long term. You had a question on vaccination of employees. As we speak, about 84% of our employees have been vaccinated, either in the camps that we've organized for them or through other places where we've compensated them for the vaccination cost. Roughly about 7% are awaiting vaccination. That will get done, but some 9% have some constraints. Maybe they've had a COVID infection, etc. So they have to wait for some time. So that will get done very soon. So we are well on our way to get everyone vaccinated as soon as possible. Mr. Saraf, again, thank you for the kind words. You had a question on the female participation rate. I think that's a very important point that you've made, and this is an important aspect that all of us look at. In fact, our chairperson personally, drives that agenda as well. Just to give you some numbers, over the last 1 year, the percentage of female employees has moved up from 17.5 to 18.3%. It's a small movement, but it's in the right direction. As a management, we have a lot of focus on recruiting talent. So wherever there are new openings that open up, we particularly focus on improving the percentage of female talent that we are hiring. We also believe that this hybrid working methodology that we have done, we are also designing, or we announced a scheme where part-time work will also be allowed by our employees. And we hope through some of these initiatives, we will be able to attract more female employees. There are usually the women-friendly policies that are to do with safety, the maternity benefits, etc., which are quite progressive in the context of what happens in the country. If you look at our agency force, roughly 25% of our total agents are female agents. Mr. Rangwala, you asked a question on COVID losses. If I can share the numbers for last year. Last year, for the full financial year, we had 49,266 COVID claims, totaling about 378 crores in terms of reported value of these claims. The health loss ratio, again, largely driven by this COVID impact, went worse last year. The previous year, 2020, FY 2020, our loss ratio was 69.9% for health insurance. Last year, that is FY 2021, the number went up to 78.0%. Again, largely because of this COVID impact. Mr. Vijay, your feedback is taken. I'm asking my secretary department to reach out to you and take you through the process and do the walkthrough that you sought. From our perspective, we've looked at the independent director, norms. All of them comply with the company's act provisions. But your feedback is welcome, and we will reach out to you to address the concerns that you have in terms of walkthrough. Mr. Vinod Agarwal, you had a few questions in terms of extra claims due to COVID. I have answered that in the response to Mr. Rangwala. You talked about a question on the capex on IT, and that's a very, very important and a very critical aspect that we in our risk management committee with the board, we spend a lot of time debating on cyber risk. We are doing our level best to increase the strength of our perimeter security, the endpoint security. You're right in the sense that today people are working from home, so you have to work on improving the endpoint security of the devices that they work on. So there is a lot of investment that we are making. One of the biggest growth in IT spends this last year has been on IT security. So that is clearly an area of focus for us. And we are as vigilant as one can be in this aspect. We all understand this is an evolving field. So, there are actors who are, trying to do their best, but we are also, as much as possible, we are trying to do our best in terms of protecting ourselves. You had another question on dividend, whether the 4 rupee interim plus 4 rupee in the final is equal to 8. The answer is yes. 4 rupee was interim and we announced another 4 rupees. So the total dividend is 8 rupees. Mr. Kirtisha, you had quite a few questions. One suggestion that you gave was rather than 1,000 and billions, we have to have consistency. We'll see what we can do. I think the international practice has become millions and billions. That's what at ICICI Group we've been following for some time. But wherever there are thousands, if the numbers are large enough, we'll see if we can move them into million, so that it makes easy for you to understand. In terms of another question that you had in terms of dividend, last year there was a regulatory advice that IRD had given all insurance companies not to pay dividend because of the uncertainties due to COVID. That was lifted towards the end of last year. So we couldn't pay one dividend that we were normally paid, which is why the dividend was low. You had a question on this June quarter profits being down. The answer is largely to do with the second COVID wave. We had to provide almost 600 crores of additional claims liability in this quarter, simply because the wave 2 has been significantly worse than what we saw last year in the same quarter. Last year, same quarter, we had roughly 1,300 COVID claims. This year, first quarter, we had close to almost 50,000 COVID claims. So it's a huge increase in COVID claims that we saw this year. You also asked a question about FII holding of 29% being too high. Honestly speaking, these are market dynamics. We go out and meet all types of investors, but we cannot control who buys because we are a listed company. The promoter holding at 51% has been, reasonably high. The cap, as you know, is 75%. In terms of loss of investment, I don't think there is any major loss of investment. Let me just. So if you look at we had a provision for impairment that we had provided last year, which was 120. This year, 66 crores of them was reversed. Largely because if you remember, end of the period in 2020, in the month of March, the stock market had collapsed and we had created a provision which is in line with a good and a conservative accounting policy. Some of that got released in this quarter as markets went back up. So overall, the investment performance has been quite positive, more than 12% absolute return on the investment for this quarter. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhargav. The queries have now been answered. As mentioned earlier, those who have not cast their vote on the resolution set forth in the notice may kindly do so now, as the e-voting platform is available for the next half an hour. I declare the meeting as closed as soon as the voting on the resolution has been completed by the members through e-voting. I authorize one of the whole-time directors of the company or the company secretary to declare the results of the remote e-voting as well as for the electronic voting done at the AGM today, along with the scrutinizer's report. The results will be announced within 48 hours from the conclusion of the meeting, that is on or before Thursday, August 12, 2021, to the stock exchanges and shall also be disseminated on the website of the company along with the scrutinizer's report. The same would also be duly recorded as part of the proceedings of the AGM. This concludes the formal business of the meeting. Before I conclude, on behalf of the company, I wish to place on record our gratitude to all the shareholders, customers, distributors, and regulatory authorities for their cooperation and active participation in the proceedings, and also for their valuable suggestions, and all their employees for their hard work and their commitment. Thank you all for your support and cooperation. Please take care of yourself, follow all COVID protocols, and be safe till we meet again. Thank you.